Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. Ah,
Woo!
how are we?
I
How
love my man
are
because
we,
he do me nasty.
everybody? Um, we have a good amount to talk about. A lot, like the Wendy Williams of it all is big. We're gonna save that for the end.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Oh my god. First things first, though, we're not going to do a lot of preamble. I want to get right into the halftime show, Kendrick Lamar's
Okay.
halftime show. I know. I'm
Oh my God.
so as
I always forget a
expected,
week passes like since we do these. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. That did happen. Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
That's sort of what's fun about because on Saturdays is when I prep and I have to go back through and be like, okay, what happened this last week? And I'm like, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was a week ago. I had no doubt when I was watching, I was like, oh, people are going to have problems. I'm sure I can already feel the comments like, I
Oh, for
don't get
sure.
this. This is terrible. What a boring. Something I learned today, well, might as well. Something I learned very recently that I didn't realize was if you go to the Super Bowl, the
Uh-huh.
halftime show is rarely good for you because
Right.
you can't see all the things. And I thought that they were like maybe putting it on the big screen or something, making you feel like, but I guess that's not the same. And so people who went to the game that were like complaining and not shitty were like, we're only complaining because you just can't see what it is. It's for the people at home. That's what the halftime show is for. So when you watch it later, like for example, someone went to see Rihanna when they were there for Rihanna and they were like, that show looked boring in person.
Oh, see,
Eh,
let me tell you something. This is why Beyonce is a consummate professional because there's no way in hell that Christmas halftime show didn't look amazing for everybody. The band was all she used the entire field for that show, and the band. I mean, she went in the sky. She like, okay, you couldn't see me at first, bitch. I know you see me now. So like, it was amazing all the way around.
It is so funny that you say that because I wanted to
Oh,
go back and watch Beyonce's halftime performance.
I do every day.
I forgot not, but I'm not talking about the Christmas one, the
Oh,
one
oh,
from
oh.
her Super Bowl from what, like 2015.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I was like, wow, Beyonce did it like the growth in Beyonce when we saw that back then. I remember losing my mind, being like
Yes,
my uncle who had never really thought he was a Beyonce fan. That halftime performance changed his opinion and made him love Beyonce.
yes.
But watching it now, after seeing what we've seen from her, like the Renaissance tour, this past halftime show,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it looked like child's play.
It yes, she always tries to like outdo herself, and like you can, it's like everyone because remember she
Yes.
did the 50th anniversary with Coldplay and Bruno Mars.
Yes.
That was amazing. We all forgot Coldplay was there. We're like, oh, whose show is? Oh yeah, that's right. And
He
so we
was the
forgot
worst
about
part.
them. Right, right.
Sorry.
And then we get to this Christmas, like it's all always evolving. You can't
Always
deny her
evolving. And
greatness.
that's why when she accepted her award and said that, I'm always trying to keep getting better and better as an artist. That's
Mm-hmm.
right, she does. Okay. Okay, but back
Mm-hmm.
to Kendrick.
Yes, yes, yes.
Incredible. The amount this guy is too smart. He is too smart. You can't catch him. You can't
Right.
right when you think you're going to get him, you can't catch him. And he gave such a statement of a performance on the biggest platform you can do it.
Uh-huh. Most
And that's why
views
it
of
was so
all
amazing.
time.
Most views of all time. That's
Crazy.
nuts. That's a
Crazy.
crazy thought. Like,
My
what?
goodness.
So he took that opportunity and he used it right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
He
loved it.
was, and he's got the cutest face. He used to always wear sunglasses when he performed, but now
Mm-hmm.
he's got his whole face showing, and he just looks like a little Teddy Graham. But he's just saying these like really really savage things. But he just looks so cute,
Oh my God.
with his flare jeans.
I was just about to say, can we talk about the bell bottom of it all? Like I lived.
I love that it meant a lot to so many other people too. Because as I was watching, I'm like, are they? Is that? Was but then I realized it took over. Like they sold out of the jeans. Everyone started buying more flare jeans. Like that really got to us.
Yes. Wait,
Why was that so special?
can I say that I'm a little jealous though? Because as a man, I'm a short king, okay? I gotta really like hunt for some like flare jeans that were like not dragging the ground to where like I'm stepping on them on my shoes and getting annoyed because it takes this much to annoy me, okay, during my day. Like, okay, bitch, like why are these jeans so goddamn long? Like, what is
I get
happening?
that more than
Yes.
Wait a minute. Because this used to be the story of my life up in San Francisco for college, where it rains often.
Mm-hmm.
I would still be wearing my flare jeans with flip flops.
Oh,
everywhere I'd go, I'd be walking in like, look at my pants. And they're like, you need to not wear this when it rains. I'm like, never.
yes. Like,
Never. And
why
so
not?
someone made a funny TikTok about it where they saw the jeans and then they go into their like bin of old clothes and pulled out the jeans, and then they ended it with them walking away with them too long, getting wet in a puddle.
Yes, every time.
It's the story of flare, because flare jeans don't look good if they don't slightly touch the ground.
Right.
They have to.
It's for the drama.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they look like I've accidentally hemmed jeans too short. Like I've taken them in. I'm like, I don't need to stand and measure it. It's just an inch.
Yeah.
And then they look so goofy when they don't hit the ground and get the little, you know what I mean? They just look silly.
Then they're ankle beaters, and you're like, God damn, okay.
Like now, so embarrassing when they're flared and they don't hit the ground, especially because we're short. When you're short, and that is not a good look. Maybe if you were tall, you could pull that off, but if you were short, not a cute look. But I think that everyone was just screaming when Serena Williams, looking stunning, like God. That blue on her with her makeup was gorgeous. Like they get the most perfect hue of her blush. She was glowing, and there was so many meaning. There was so much depth to that one appearance. She had gotten penalized for crip walking at Wimbledon, and then she dated Drake, and his dumbass has been singing about and rapping about her and her husband.
Right, weirdo. Like, get out of here.
Weirdo. What a weirdo. But that was just, it was like, oh, it's over. Like, it's over. She won. Like, Kendrick got it. It was
over.
So good.
That's why I don't care. Like, I'm sure Drake's new album is. I've never been a Drake fan, so like I'm not gonna like listen to it. Like the songs you play on the radio, I'll hear. Like I'll listen to those. Totally. But I'm not going to like search for Drake music. But like in my mind, I don't need to hear a response either. Like it's too late. It's done. The Grammys have come. The Super Bowl's come. He's ended it. It's done. Like we're not going backwards.
Yes. And I think he even said. I think there was a quote by him saying like, no, it's just time to like dance. I'm going to make like a dance album or something. Like, yes. Well, stop picking fights. He's the one who starts them. That's the problem.
Yes. And that would be my exact response too. Like if I get beat the fuck up by somebody like on national TV millions of times, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm above this. I am not fighting anymore.
Everyone, it's just time to laugh. Okay. Right.
My God.
That's your message all of a sudden. When you lose, that's your message.
All of a sudden you're positive. You're like, no, I'm not a fighter. I don't do such lowbrow things. No. When I was the one swinging in the first place, I came in windmilling everybody, but like, no. Now I got beat up. I'm like, I'm okay. No, ma'am.
I'm above that. I don't do that. I don't play in the mud. Okay.
No,
wow. Who does that? So true. No, so we give that a 10 out of motherfucking 10.
Yeah. And plus I love the album. So like I really had a great time. Like my God, I listen to it every day. It's so good.
I mean, he had the symbolism. Trump was there. That's what was really nuts. I'm like, Trump is watching this? Like, that's crazy to have his dancers as the American flag. I'm like, oh God, this picture right here. I could just see like all of the iconic photos that are historic.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was a television event.
Yes.
And then we got Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam.
Love.
Brilliant. That
everybody's uncle.
Brilliant.
Yes.
That was beyond. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, that he could not have done it. He does it so intelligently that it's not ever on the nose. It doesn't feel preachy. It doesn't feel it's so smart. And it's hard to respond to him. I mean, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner for fuck's sake. So
right. How many people can say that?
How many people can say that are professional rappers?
Right. Can say that.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a stunning performance. So we stan it over here.
Love it. Love it.
Okay, here's something that is concerning.
Oh,
it's a good.
You don't use that word often. I'm a little nervous right now.
I know. It's a good thing for Jay-Z.
Okay.
because this lawsuit that was
Mhm.
that he was named in against, it was Diddy and him and an unnamed female celebrity. It has been completely dropped.
Yes.
Now, that's concerning because what we've learned about these filings of lawsuits is that anyone can put anything in there and it's
Yes.
up to the other side to disprove it. So
Mhm.
now when I see lawsuit filings, I'm like, honestly, I know anyone can write anything. So it's really it's confusing. It's really what do you ever believe?
Right.
But the fact that this got dropped
After
really
Tony
makes,
Buzbee like was doing all of that like
yeah.
backflipping, back bending, round off, step off, back
Yeah.
handspring twirl, like it was a lot going on.
Yeah. And like because he's got his own skeletons in his closet. Like that guy does not have a squeaky clean record, Mr. Tony
Mhm.
Buzbee. So the, but putting those allegations, wasn't the victim allegedly 13 years old?
Yes.
So that's a huge thing to file if you don't have enough evidence to pursue to the end.
Crazy.
Because he's taken over so many lawsuits against Diddy. So I'm like, fuck, what else have you done, dude?
Right. So it's I don't where are you coming down on this? Like, are you more so like you don't think it was like
I
you
don't,
don't
no, I don't know if I believe it or I don't believe it. I'm just more looking at this Tony Buzbee guy. I've been side eyeing him for a minute because
yes.
he just took it on. It was like everyone who's ever been victimized, call us. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, anybody can call now and say that. And so you have to then decipher what's true and what's not. And I'm
Mhm.
assuming it's really difficult because a lot of times people don't report it, don't go to the hospital, don't have any record and proof of anything. So a lot of the time it is just my word against theirs, which is
Mhm.
scary. But um, but so Jay-Z gets this victory and like there's a fine. You're like, cool, man. Like that's true. You're the one lawsuit you were named in, you've just been cleared of. But
Yeah.
then Diddy's lawyer chimes in and is like, as we've been saying, these lawsuits are frivolous. And I'm like, okay, you don't, no, not the same for
No.
you.
No, 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 no.
Your
No, no,
client,
no, no.
your client, all those other law. So in one of the Diddy docu series, because had a bunch of specials
There
come
are a
out,
lot popping up, yes.
and he's suing Peacock for theirs. But what's interesting is Max had a whole series and it was in detail. But some of the people they fucking interviewed were actively suing Diddy. So they were like reading from their own filings, or
Ooh.
this one guy worked for Diddy so much so that he had voice note after voice note from Diddy telling him to come back up to my room and come get this and bring the lube and bring the whatever, and like just all
Bring the
kinds of
lube.
craziness. So
Oh.
I'm like, I wonder if they can even sue the Max doc, because they're like, well, then we're gonna have to like refute the evidence, and that's not gonna.
Right.
We're not gonna be able to do that because it looked like the Max one was like, how are these people able to talk about something that's in like active litigation? But it
Right.
seemed really rooted in facts.
Can
Like
I
Al B.
tell you?
Sure's in it. Al B. Sure talks in it.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's okay. Al, because Al, Al will pop up every now and then. He'd be like, "Okay, bitch, listen to me," and we got to listen to Al. So that's a
Exactly.
lot,
He's like, I almost died, so please.
right? Tony Buzbee gives me that vibe where it felt like he was doing this, hoping that Jay-Z was going to be that person that's like, you know what? Because he's always that way. He's one of those people like, if I get in a lawsuit, yes, I'm gonna fight it, but if this shit gets stupid and drags on, cut a check. That's the celebrity way. Cut a check, make it go away. No one really cares about this anyway, so just get it out of my face. I got enough money. I'm a billionaire,
Exactly.
whatever. I think Tony was counting on that. He
I
was counting on
know.
him being like, you know what? I don't want to fight this. I'll have my name dragged. Everyone, the news cycle is only so long. We'll forget about it in a couple of weeks and then it'll all be okay. now Jay-Z was like, nope, I'm fighting this tooth and nail because I'm not the only one affected. My children see this. My wife is the biggest star to ever walk this planet. You're not gonna do this to her career. Well, I know y'all gonna beat me up for that, but still, the biggest star to ever walk this planet. Like I'm feeling good because I got my tickets this week. So,
you got them?
I got my tickets. Whatever. So, whatever. So, yeah. But I think that's what he was counting on. He was counting on like a quick victory. I'm not gonna fight this. Give us the money. We'll spread it out, and then we're good. We'll. Everyone's gonna believe it anyway because Diddy's in jail, and we know Diddy did all of this, so they're definitely gonna believe Jay-Z because obviously the whole time they've been saying like there's this big celebrity that's involved with all this stuff with Diddy. We've seen the tapes. This person's on tape and all this kind of stuff, and everybody's like, okay, who's bigger than Diddy? First thing that comes to mind is he's got to be Jay-Z or Beyonce, one of the two. So. I think he was counting on all of this stuff, all this circumstantial stuff coming together in a way that they literally were just going to get a payout. He could pay these people and they can all go on about their business a couple $1 million richer. Didn't work out that way.
It felt like a money grab. It felt like he presenting himself like a savior, but also centering himself.
Yes.
Making sure he got all the clients.
Yes. That's what it was.
And
his approach was wild too, because every time Jay-Z responded, Tony was right there. He's like, oh, you saying that about me? About me? Well, let me tell you something. You did it was an aggressive approach to lawyering. And so it made you think like, hold on, like what does Tony know? Like, goodness.
Exactly. He was that's a good point. He was so sure of it that it's like, oh, well, then I know, but oh, wait, you dropped it?
Right.
Was that all just a tactic? Like all of you, like you coming back and stuff, you were just like trying to wear them out and see all their bluff kind of thing?
Right.
Concerning.
Very, very
concerning, people.
Thank you, Illy, in the comments. She said, Kendrick, you look so skinny. The cheekbones are cheekboning.
Ooh,
thank you, darling.
We love
Thank you.
That.
I'm rapidly approaching 30 pounds lost. Thank you.
Oh, you're rapidly approaching 30. That's amazing.
Yes,
congratulations.
27. Thank you. I weigh in on Thursday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to the next topic, which is actually not the topic I thought it was. So allegedly, according to TMZ, Kanye and Bianca split. God. But according to the Hollywood Reporter, this is not the case. I think what's happening is we all just want her to leave him. So we're like, now? What if we just put it in the press now? They're breaking up. No? Damn it. That Grammy stunt, for those who didn't see, it's like he has her on a humiliation tour, which is such an abuser thing to do.
It's weird. Like it's weird. Like the Grammys felt like to me like it was to where I wanted to like mute their names on every platform I can because I don't want any updates about them. Like that felt, I don't know, like it wasn't even me, but I felt embarrassed for her. I'm like, well, who is this for? Like honestly, like what are we getting out of this? Like you can't want to pull a stunt this bad to where you're willing to have your wife go completely, because I know everyone has free will, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't exactly feel like she necessarily does in this situation. I don't know. She looked completely different before they were together, and now she's a Kim K clone almost. It's haunting.
And like the way because now that I know too that Kanye like smells, you can see it. Like he doesn't shower often, and exactly. And someone actually, he got like mad at someone because he smelled so bad somewhere, and they were like, we can't even have him here. Like he doesn't, I know. And then he's in his just like normal outfit, and then has her totally naked, just standing there in front of reporters, like in front of it. Oh, it felt so weird.
It did.
I'm like, stop taking their picture. I feel like that's what needs to happen. Like cameras go down and just be like, sorry, you're not getting any more attention for this dude.
Right. Like
it's gross.
Everyone needs to be on the same page because like what are we doing? Like honestly,
that's what I'm saying. Like at some point there's a responsibility, guys. Like stop flashing the cameras. Because he thinks that this, like he's like, well, it's still working. I'm still getting attention. But then he also had that he's a mess. What was he selling? Swastika shirts
Yes.
And then something else, and then and then he got dropped by his agent or manager, and a bunch of people were like, "That was it." Like, I thought by now he wouldn't have any professional representation or anybody who like want to work with him at this point.
Right. Like, I was more shocked that he had somebody to get fired by or to get dropped by. Like, what are we
Exactly.
talking about?
It was like, who's still there? Who's still on that train? What
Oh.
poor bastard is still having to deal with that? Like, so that is.
Yeah. Illy made a good point in the comments. She said X took him off their platform. Did that actually shocked me? Did that shock you?
Yes. Now, in this climate, yeah.
Because solely because like the old owners of X, whatever, the old owners wouldn't have shocked me at all. They seem to like really have like some morality and principles behind them.
Yep.
Elon, I never
Elon.
thought we'd see the day where Elon is pulling a trigger to have Kanye West account pulled. Maybe it's because it wasn't targeted towards Black people. I don't know.
Well, also, like, I mean, Elon did a Nazi salute after all, and I would just think that if anything,
he'd buy one.
Exactly. I was like,
yeah.
ooh. But so yeah, the Kanye train is terrifying. He's powerful, very, very rich, and out of control.
Yeah.
And like, he probably needs a conservatorship.
He does something. It's one like it. Listen,
it's gone.
That man does a lot.
So far off the rails.
Truly, that man does a lot. But like now, knowing that he stinks too, because I didn't know those rumors. That puts it over the top for me. I'm like, okay, you already are the grossest human being on the planet, but now you physically gross too. Like what are we doing?
I know. Doesn't that change? Because when I was looking at the Grammys thing, I was thinking like, and he smells like Annie's like unkept and like because he doesn't believe in showering or something. I don't know. Ugh. I don't know what the reason was, but it was like I can't remember what I was watching that I saw that, but it was like one of those Kanye spiraling specials. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure those pop up.
There's a lot of them. There's
right.
a lot of them. It's kind of hard to keep up, and they have to like update them. They can't just keep like they've got to freshen it up because it still gets bad.
Exactly. My God.
Okay, we're gonna take an abrupt, but it kind of said no, not really. It doesn't at all. So I've been not keeping up with the Blake Lively, Justin Belgioni situation. But I came across an interview. This is resurfaced. It was an interview she did with Forbes.
You have to be you're forced to, like it's everywhere. So like we have no choice.
Couldn't avoid it. So we're gonna watch this together and we're gonna discuss.
Okay. On a set, I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that like that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went into meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do. And so it was like, it was a really strange position to be in because I felt like, I don't want to just like be an actor. Like I want to, I want to have more authorship. So I think that it's about, knowing what I want and what I need and representing that from the outset. And if people are into that and want to collaborate with me for all I feel like I need to offer and bring to a job, then those are the people I should collaborate with. And if I see that it's people who are, whether this is in business or acting or whatever it is, where it's people who I can see that feels like that's stepping on their territory, that's not going to ultimately be a fulfilling relationship for either one of us.
The interview took place before she signed on to It Ends With Us in 2023.
Wait a minute. First of all, Forbes, you messy as hell for reposting that shit. Like that interview was 3 years old, and for you to bring it back now, you messy as hell, and I love it. So keep doing what you're doing, okay? I love you guys over there. Messy boots.
So I was waiting for her to say that like she was getting producer credits or writing credits or something, but if I'm so sorry. If you're hired as an actor, not a writer, not a producer, but if just you're hired as an actor, it doesn't matter if it's not fulfilling to you.
Right.
The production team has decided that you are going to be an actor, and just because you want to come in and change the story and change the whatever, that's just rude.
Right. That clip was, my God. Like, I feel like every day I see a new something that like has me like ping-ponging back and forth.
Ping-ponging back and forth.
Right. Like, nothing will change my mind about Justin. Like, obviously he's super gross, and like I believe a lot of the stuff they say about him, but I believe a lot of the stuff they say about Blake too. Because like it's like every time they say something about her, a new interview is unveiled from 2020 something. I'm like, oh boy, that do you either have the worst luck or like somebody's out to get you, sis? Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's a lot happening.
Well, she also proved, because part of what Justin has been saying is that Blake was a nightmare to work with, because she showed up, changed the wardrobe, caused them to go over budget in that department because she was like making them pull everything and then come to her house to do the fittings and stuff. And then the outfits, by the way, because I watched the movie, the outfits were distractingly weird. Like,
I've
I
only
don't
seen
know.
TikToks about it. I haven't seen the actual movie yet.
It's something that they shouldn't even be arguing about. Like, it's not a good movie. You can feel there's no chemistry whatsoever on the set. It's just disjointed, and the writing it's just not. I thought it was absolutely terrible. I fast forwarded. I just wanted to get through it so I could see like how it ends and stuff. But I was like, oh my God, got it. Terrible.
It literally, like, I don't know why they won't take a page out of what's it called? Darling. What's that movie with
oh yeah, Goodbye Darling? No.
We'll go with that. Goodbye Darling. Yeah.
Something like that.
Like that.
Yeah.
I like those people. They did their press tours. We all talked about it, and then they didn't say a thing else. They went on about their business. They signed on for other roles. They were like, y'all talk about whatever the hell y'all want to talk about. I don't care. I'm going on for to make this money over here. Then I make it over there. Then I make it over here again. I'm not doing all of this. These two are like, it almost feels like they're excited to have this much attention in a way. Like, I know, like I feel like Justin. I mean, we don't like D-list, but Blake, I feel like, I mean, we look forward to her on the Met Gala carpet, and like she's married to Ryan Reynolds, and she's a great actress and all this stuff. So it's like, I don't know. It almost feels like they're like competing for spotlight, and it's like we kind of want it to be in a dark room. Like, we don't want spotlight right now. Like, we hate all of this. Hate it all.
So here's where I'm landing on it right now. I think Justin might be a little like woo kind of like a little too like whatever. And I know that video that came out that was very confusing of the two of them in that scene. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And it was really bizarre because, so in my opinion, that scene is weird for, I know everyone's like, it proves that Blake felt totally comfortable. I'm like, I don't know. It's confusing because the direction for that scene was supposed to be them just looking at each other and like gazing at each other, not talking.
Yeah.
But then when he yelled action, Blake started talking. Like, Blake started saying something to him and was like, I think it's weird that we're just like not looking at, or we're just looking at each other. And then he doesn't yell cut. You would think he'd be like, okay, cut. I want us to just not talk. I don't know. But instead he like has the dialogue with her while they're rolling the cameras. And then he does improvise like a weird kiss on her neck. And that I was like, hold on, that's weird to do. They're like kind of arguing right now, talking about how this scene isn't what she wants it to be. I think call cut, please. It's making me uncomfortable. But like that aside, yes, that's a little weird. But it sounds like Blake is an admitted diva. Like, she shows up. I'm not just going to be the actress. I'm going to need to have a control of my script and control of this. It's like, that's not how this works. That's not how crews work and get shit done.
Right.
And then when she had her tone deaf press tour because she was hawking her alcohol and her hair care line for a movie about domestic violence.
Right.
When she got this bad feedback, she wanted to blame someone. Or Ryan. I think Ryan has a lot more to do with this than even we realize. I think he was
saying.
I think he was the one who's like, no, we can't have this be your image. They must have done something, and tried to dig up all these things that like Blake's team was trying to take him down too. Like they were doing it to each other. That's like what happens, I think, PR to PR person.
Two things.
What?
Number one, I think it's actually crazy that Blake like will sign on just to be an actor and then try to come in and like do all this stuff. Because number one, if you're Blake Lively, if you go in there and say, I'd love to also be an executive producer on this film, is there something you're willing to let me do? Because let's be honest.
Say it out, say it up front.
Yes, because we all know a lot of times, like whether it's TV, movie, a lot of time executive producer sometimes is going to be that vanity role. Like it's not always going to be the person that's doing the actual like stuff. Sometimes it's person that just like, okay, well, we need a creative decision made. Can I ask you this? Can I do like that kind of stuff? You might lead that conversation, but it's not always like the, you're not getting in the paint, you're not doing all of that. So that's where she like messes up. I'm sure anybody would love to have like starring and executive producing Blake Lively. Like that's a double title. Plus, you're gonna be way more incentivized to go out there and promote the hell out of that movie. But speaking of promotion, my second point, it also, I don't know why I didn't think about this at first. Now thinking about it, Ryan probably was very heavily involved, not because like he was concerned about her image. This man was now attached to the MCU. And so now with him having a movie coming out at the exact same time she did, because it came out in the same month, right?
Right. I forgot.
Yes. Kevin Feige probably called him in that office like, look, bitch, don't play with me. I'm not playing with you. This is supposed to be $1 billion movie, and it better be. Go get your wife. Go get that man with that curly hair. Y'all talk this shit. I don't care what y'all got to do. Stop playing with me. You can play with a lot of people. You're not about to play with us over here at Marvel, okay? And that probably sent shivers down that man's back because, listen, Ryan Reynolds can do a lot of movies. Doing Deadpool is a guaranteed huge paycheck and a guaranteed huge $1 billion franchise and guaranteed millions of eyes on him. So that's a whole different beast of an animal, and they treat it as such. So now I'm thinking like, ooh, he might have, because when movies always have target release dates, even like very early in the process, because they have to like stick to deadlines and stuff. So they probably both came home one day like, oh, you're summer of 2024. Me too. I'm summer of 2024. What, June? Oh my God. Me too. I'm June. They're probably in the very early stages was like, okay, girl, you going a little left. I need you to come back over here. Come back over here.
I'm not very familiar with Blake Lively's filmography, so I don't know like if I don't think she's doing a lot of movies. Is she? So this was kind of like a special thing, right?
Yeah, because I thought she was like, for the most part, like taking care of the kids and like letting Ryan like have the shine for a while. But I think like she would come out and do like projects that she like really loved. Like they would make that agreement and she would come do that. Like that.
That's Anna, right.
Not Anna. What's her name? Is that Anna Kendrick?
Yeah, yeah. And
like
the interviews with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively are hilarious.
Oh, I see. I've never seen any.
Well, Anna Kendrick seems like she knows Blake is difficult and has found a way to cope with that, and that is by just acknowledging it kind of and joking about it. But the interview I saw, first Blake has like her feet on Anna, like she's got her shoes off and like has got her feet like across the couch. I believe that's what I'm remembering it right. The interviewer starts to bring up things that Blake just isn't into, like makes like a Harry Potter reference or something, and Anna knows it and Anna like responds, and then at one point Blake goes, okay, it's like you're not even talking to me, it's like you're not even asking me any questions.
Oh,
and Anna has some funny response, but it's like, oh, Anna has dealt with Blake and knows because it goes like back and forth where it's like a love hate, but like a hate vibe, where Anna has figured out how to be funny about it, but it's definitely tense. And also like Blake, who says to an interviewer, you're not even talking to me.
Right. Like, girl, first of all, because it's press day, you're going to be doing this from sun up to sundown. Like somebody will talk to your ass. Like, girl, take the break.
Exactly. Dude. So yeah, no, so I've come around to realize that it's probably not even Blake, more so that it was Ryan kind of strategizing how to take him down. And now the bummer is I actually do support Justin fighting against this because I think Ryan thought, oh, we'll just file this lawsuit and it will we'll win. And that's just, because we're powerful. And so I actually am happy that Justin's going after it. But the problem is they keep leaking stories like there's all this new update. So you can't open up your phone without seeing Justin Baldoni releases more text messages. And you're like, oh my God.
Right.
Okay. At this point, guys, at this point, I can't do it anymore. I'm over that.
Group chat. Take me out the group chat.
But seeing that interview with Blake, so entitled, being like, it's just not fulfilling for me. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So the comments on that were amazing. The comments were like, imagine you're a nurse and you're like, you know what? It's just not fulfilling for me. I'm just going to go be a surgeon today.
Right.
Fuck off. No, that's not how that works. Of course not. Of course, everyone goes to their job and has a thought this isn't fulfilling enough. I want to do more. So you go and you do more. You don't just tell them, I know you hired me to be an actress, but I need to change the wardrobe and I need to change the script. And
right.
Girl, no. So I've come around quite a bit, but at this point, it's and some content creators are loving it. All their content is Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni updates.
And it's getting soaked up, yes.
Yeah, so you know what? I shouldn't. Maybe that's just the game, and I'm not good at playing it. But I just want it to be over at this.
Me too. I literally even people a lot of Bravo people I follow. I feel like they do a lot of special Blake and I'm like, oh, okay, this is a thing still. Okay.
Oh, it's still a thing, and people, and then oh yeah, people are consuming the content. So maybe maybe we're in the minority here where we're just is it really interesting? Because I don't think it is.
Right. I think I'm kind of over it.
Okay. What does this say? Me. It's all about she's a true narcissist. Yeah, she's definitely. I'm sorry. That was oh wait, hold on. What did you say? Are you going to mention the Taylor Swift connection? Good question, Illy. Good question. Ooh. So I don't know if this is true or not. But allegedly Taylor Swift is not happy with Blake. Now remember last year when Taylor went to the Super Bowl, she famously brought Blake Lively and they had their matching outfits on and whatever. And this year she has not brought Blake Lively to the game. I mean, it was an embarrassing game, obviously. It wasn't a super fun game for them.
Right.
But congrats, Phillies fans. I'm so happy for you guys. The Eagles are such a sweet team. They've got Jalen Hurts and they're just such a sweet group of people. Love them.
Yeah. Especially for such a terrible place.
First female coach. I didn't say that.
I'm
Take
sorry.
me off the record. I am off. Nope, I did not touch
I'm a Cowboys fan, okay?
I'm not getting in that mess.
I'm sorry. Boston and Philadelphia, you know how you sports fans are. I'm just saying. Let's not rewrite history now. Y'all know how y'all are, okay? Let's not rewrite it. You gotta
include New York. I'm sorry, you have to include New York sports fans in there too.
That's true. That's the triple crown right there. They're all
triple crown for sure. New York sports fans. Did you see that those guys who tugged at Mookie Betts' mitt at the World Series? They are banned for life. They can never go to a game again. Good. Oh, I was so mad at them.
I'm from Memphis. Some Memphis woman here just got banned from every Walmart in the country. Did you hear about
the country?
Every single Walmart in the country. I'm making Memphis proud. Look at you.
And then how?
She
what?
I'm guessing that self-checkout, it gets people in trouble. I think they said the number I saw was $140 worth of products. I'm that gets you banned from every Walmart in the country?
That's aggressive.
Right.
I mean, yes, I guess technically stealing, but I guess was she arrested? What happened?
Yes, because I saw her mugshot. Her mugshot is actually hilarious because she's smiling. She has one of those faces that's and I'm gonna do it again, bitch. When I get out, that's her face in that picture. And so she's arrested. I don't know if she's gotten on bail, but I know one thing: she's not at Walmart.
Well, I can now that I think about it, isn't that just a thing where if you get caught stealing from a store, don't they ban you from all the stores? Isn't that a thing?
Do they? Because remember Walmart for a while they had that weird message out there. And then I think they had to do a hard shift.
Yeah. What was it?
It was like, if you steal, we won't get mad. We'll just stop it and we'll like take the stuff back. It was
They
something
had
like
that.
really.
I didn't know that was a message. Who puts that out there?
Right. It's like, what? Like you're like threatening people to steal from you. It's like, what are we
Who puts that out there?
It was so, I remember everyone being like, this is so odd to be like,
So,
we're just going to take the stuff back. Like, we're
wait a
not going to do
minute.
anything, but we want our
minute.
stuff. We need that Cerave back, if you don't mind.
What a business is like, guys, look, we realize that some of you are going on hard times. If you come in and you steal, we'll just confiscate the goods and you can head on your way.
Just go on about your business. Like, it's all right.
Did they see a huge rise in theft? Because I would imagine that would be an open invitation to all people.
Right. I feel like I missed my chance. I could have got me a new TV out of there, I guess.
That is the oddest marketing. They're like, you know, it'd be a good idea for us guys. This will really help. It's like reverse psychology. We'll tell them we won't care. And then they'll be like, oh, what are you laughing at? Someone in the comments.
Kelly Williams said a friend of mine stole a chapstick from Walmart and they pressed charges. No. Sorry, it's not funny, Kelly. Sorry for your friend, but what?
How silly.
Right.
They're like, one chapstick.
Right. And nowadays, listen, in 2025, these judges, depending on where they lean, baby, they'll be like, okay,
where they go.
Right. Death to all of them. Like Wendy Williams, like, my God. Oh.
So yeah, I don't even know how we got on that topic, but allegedly Taylor Swift is not cool with Blake Lively referring to her as one of her dragons and her as Khaleesi.
She said that?
Yeah, Blake. Okay, in one of the longest text messages, both of them sent real long text messages back and forth. But Blake's text messages were like, she was sending like a 5-paragraph essay, and at one part, it was her telling. It's an obnoxious text. It is a long-winded way of her saying what she just said in this Forbes interview.
You know what? I listened to a podcast. Yeah,
oftentimes I don't feel fulfilled. And so at the end of it, it was like, because Justin was trying to say you didn't need to like drop Ryan's name and Taylor's name back and forth. Like he was like, you don't need to do that. Like I will listen to you. And then she says something about how that's why I've got my dragons. I'm like Khaleesi and they're my dragons and they help me.
That's right. Yeah. I just listened to a podcast that actually read that whole text message. It was daunting. I was like, my God.
It was just, when you think about it, it's just this interview that she did, basically. It's like her saying that. And I've worked on some projects where some people don't want to listen to this. And it's like, yeah, because not everyone has time to let you live out your fulfilling dreams.
Like, hello?
we have a job to do. Okay. There's a structure here for a reason.
Like, girl, like, can we not?
Yeah. Can we not?
Things.
Okay. Let's get off of that and go to, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Are you caught up? Did you watch Traitors?
Yes. Of course. Yes.
I really hate that Tom is making me laugh. I said it last week and I'm saying it again. I'm upset.
Yes. This has been a hot, because I posed the question on my latest episode where I was like, is Tom likable now to people, or like, what am I thinking? And people were like, no, we still hate him, but he is funny. I was like, okay. I just need to know where to come down on that, like, because I was confused myself.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I said. I said people who don't have any Vanderpump Rules history don't know Tom, and he's just like, for those of us who don't watch Survivor, he's just like one of those people coming on. You're getting to know them in real time,
right? And
there was a TikTok. The girl's account clearly hates Tom because she knows Vanderpump Rules, but she's like, it was my boyfriend giggling at Tom Sandoval on the Traitors, and he's like, this guy's funny. Did I miss something? I'm like, shut up. But everyone in the comments is like, it's like you don't want people to enjoy him, but it's annoying because he actually is good for shows like this.
Can I say this?
You need the idiot. You need someone to be so stupid and like, but think they're so good, and like you need that.
Yes, you definitely need. It was like Kevin and whoever it was last season, just like doing dumb shit in the round. Yes. We're like, what are y'all doing right now? Like, what are we talking about?
Yes, and they're like, we're so onto something, and you're like, what? And like, You need
this
it.
episode was so good because Tom, as much as I hate to say it, he really shined in this episode in the worst possible way, but he did shine. One, because of that flub at the round table, but also that like challenge that they had. I was audibly cracking up because it made me think of that episode of Friends where Ross is learning the bagpipe for Chandler and Monica's wedding, and then he's like, "Sing along if you know it," and Phoebe's like, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about every time he got on that phone. I'm like, what am I really watching right now? Like, what is actually happening? And so it really, I caught myself a couple times being like, damn, am I turning a page on Tom Sandoval? Like, one, I feel like I'm truly fighting it with all my spirit. And I'm like, should I be fighting it? Should I give him a chance? No, I hate him, right? I do hate him. I think I hate him. Do I like him? I don't know. And so I'm going back and forth so much. It's kind of,
I feel like we can hate him, but he's like a good person to have on these shows because I think it's because we hate him that it works so well. It's like it's like here comes Tom and Tom, like look at Sam Ashgari, the most boring human being alive.
Yes.
He like both Tom and Sam were coming on the show and we were like, great. Why would you have those assholes come on your show? Sam is doing what Tom could have done, which Sam's just boring naturally. So Sam is kind of like laying low, not drawing a lot of attention to himself. As where Tom, who is like, he's just true, not even just the Ariana cheating, like in general, Tom is terrible as a person. Like he just isn't a good person, but he should be like laying low, but he's not. He's like, what? Like, what are you going to do about it? And I think that it's like, all right, he knows he's going to be hated and he's like not trying to hide it. And I think it's giving us material to laugh at because this, again, like he took it. So he's like, I don't think I'm the only one here with any musical ability. So it's like, sure. But that's good for these shows. You know, it's entertaining, right? So
I have a theory. I genuinely think that all these people come on these shows thinking like that's a great strategy. Like, oh, I'm going to lay low and I'm going to like this.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that they come into these shows and they look around and because they're not fans of reality TV like we are, chances are they probably don't know like 70% of the other people here. They know, like, if you're Tom Sandoval, you're like, okay, I know the Housewives. I might know this because I watched Survivor. I don't know anybody else. And so I think everybody literally comes in and then they almost instantly, I don't want to say get an ego, but I think they automatically come in and they're like, you know what? I'm going to have to do the heavy lifting because I'm the star here. Like everybody there is like, you know what? I'm the star. I'm the famous one here. Everyone else is just like in my world right now. So I do need to come to the round table. I do need to show up. I do need to say this. I do need to perform. And it's like, you're not realizing that the other 25 people in the house are thinking the exact same way you are. So I think there's a little like mental gymnastics going on, but it's not because of the show. It's because they all like are coming in with preconceived notions of their own fame in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think Tom is going to be a perfect person to keep around if you're a traitor because he's pulling so much focus. And I don't think anyone at this point, I think everyone's like, Tom is obviously a faithful. He's just a crazy faithful. But he obviously is he was like, you could just tell like you're not a traitor. And it would have been too on the nose to have Tom be a traitor. You know, it would have been too on the nose. So having him be a faithful and just be a mess and pissing everybody off. And I think also it helps that everyone else doesn't like him. You know, so that's fun. Where it's like, it's not like a whole bunch. It's not like a bunch of people who are like, oh, we love Tom. He's funny. Every single person is like, it's just Tom. Tom being Tom. Everyone. Dylan, who seems like the sweetest guy. He's like, it's Tom.
That's Tom.
But that bug challenge, okay. Sierra, when she was on Watch What Happens Live, she's like, I did not open my eyes at all. So I didn't even know what was getting dropped on us until I watched the show. But that was a good tactic because it's true. They technically can't put anything in there that would hurt you.
Right.
Because it's the show. They can't be like injuring you intentionally. So technically you're safe. It's just never something you want. So it makes total sense. Close my eyes. I don't need to know what this is. I'm sure it's terrifying. but I can't get hurt no matter what. So that's good to know.
Right.
I am shocked that Danielle is still not discovered to be a traitor. She's doing such a terrible job, but she's getting away with it.
It's weird because I try to think about everyone that's there, and I'm like, did they just do such a good job of finally? Because remember, at the beginning, they were doing a terrible job of keeping the girls and the gays safe. But now, like at some point, they really started like shifting to where like, okay, let's get these straight dudes out of here. So now it is majority women in the house. And so, do you think that when I don't know how it'll shake out. I don't know if like the guys are all going to get like gone or what's going to happen, but I think at some point, obviously, we know the episode. Spoiler alert! If you haven't watched it, and we've been talking about this whole time, you're still listening. But we know that they're about to potentially entice somebody to become a traitor. I wonder what route they'll end up going. If because Carolyn is hell set. She's like, no, we're not bringing nobody in here. Like, nope, not doing it. And then Danielle's like, no, let's bring somebody and try. Making the dumbest case for Brittany. Carolyn is not gonna go for that. Like, what are you actually thinking right now?
Yeah,
so stupid. But I think between it mostly being women left now and them getting the men out of there, I think maybe Danielle, because she seems to be like the big dog in the turret. I think she actually maybe crafted this to a way where it's like, okay, these guys are way too on to the women. We need to get rid of as many of them as possible. And so maybe when you're surrounded by like Gabby and the people that are there like just to have a good time, maybe then it's not as like, I'm friends with all these people. They're not going to attack me as much. I can convince them to go out to somebody else like Carolyn. I think she's maybe playing a long game, just a terrible long game.
I mean, she's obviously playing some game.
Yeah.
But it's just, she's so scattered and all over the place that it seems like she's made enough mistakes that someone there would be like, hey, I mean, they're starting to question maybe.
Yeah.
But I was surprised Sierra was their next target.
So stupid.
That really irritated me. That I get it though, because they're going off of past seasons and like did they put it just makes sense. You put the traitor in so that it throws you off or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just so this is what's not fair too though. I'm watching from home and I'm like, it's so obviously not Sierra, guys. You guys are just being so stupid. It's not Sierra.
Right.
But it's because I'm watching.
Right. I know. I honestly feel like I might be terrible if I did the Traitors, because I always like watching at home is such a different thing than actually doing it. And I genuinely would be like, you know what? I don't know who to say. I'm just gonna say the people I hate watching on TV. So Tom Sandoval, here we go. You're a traitor. You're a traitor.
Yeah.
I'm voting for you, bitch. There we go. And be wrong every time.
This game gets really hard especially towards the end, because there's less and less people. So everyone is like, if you're not a traitor, everyone's like, well, there's only so many faithfuls now. So pretty much anyone I'm talking to could be a traitor. And like, that is not easy to pull off. That's a lot of lying.
A
Because
lot
you have
of
to
lying.
convince someone. Like at that point, it's like, how do I know it's not you? And you have to commit in that moment. You have to believe you are faithful. It is not easy. It is also acting. This is like an acting challenge too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. And
so much of this is acting.
Some of them are acting way too hard, i.e. Danielle. So it's like, I still honestly cannot see why she hasn't been like targeted heavily yet. I just, it's so crazy. I don't know.
What would be a fun sketch? if characters from TV shows were playing the traitors. So like Karen from Will and Grace.
Oh.
Or like, I don't know, just think of all the like classic, amazing TV characters. And like, if they were to stay in character and like play traitors, that would be
Ava Coleman, Principal Ava.
Coleman, yes. But like, they have to be in their character, not the actors, but like that character. And I think that could be a really good sketch.
You're
welcome, everybody.
I'm here for it. Needed.
Well, speaking of sketches, I did not intend for that to be so smooth, but I'll take it. Okay. SNL 50, the 50th anniversary special is on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, live on Peacock. I will be watching that. That's what I will be watching.
Okay.
The SNL 50 like specials that they've had on Peacock have given me a completely new appreciation of Saturday Night Live and of Lorne Michaels.
Oh.
this is such an experimental concept. Like, this is such hippy dippy shit. Like, sketch comedy is like, you go and you see sketch comedy, improv sketch comedy at an improv place, right?
Mhm.
But to put it on TV and to also add like the camera blocking and sets being built and all
Yep.
of that, like, it is a huge thing to put together in 1 week.
Mhm.
And Lorne did this back in the 70s, and he always wanted to include music because music, it was the 70s, so music was so important.
Mhm.
And even though SNL wasn't always funny, and Lorne
Right.
actually left at one point and he came back, and that was the quote weird year. They do a whole special on it. And
Mm.
Lorne just took all these weird chances. He had Robert Downey Jr. as one
Yeah.
of it was the weird year.
Mhm.
But the NBC execs like believe in Lorne
Mhm.
because Lorne is like I don't know. It's crazy to me how even though the show isn't always funny and sometimes it's downright not funny and embarrassing and cringe, now that I realize the process of what they do, I'm like, you know what though? This is actually cool that we still get this TV show all these years later because this is the type of shit they cut. This is the type of thing no one really gets it, but it's become this pop culture iconic moment, especially for musicians. And they do a
Yeah.
whole music special that, first of all, the music special opens with this cool medley of all the performances. And they blend them in perfectly to each other. They do like mashups. It's awesome. But you get to see how long they've been doing it. 50 fucking years is so long.
Yeah.
But then how much it means. They interview all these different musicians, and they're like, no, when you get invited to do SNL, it's a huge deal. Like,
Oh,
you are
yes.
now, it's a thing. And Lorne's always kind of ahead of the curve. And
Mhm.
I just think that Lorne Michaels is a fucking badass. I really do. But he like doesn't need to try to be. And everyone's stories about Lorne are kind of the same. Like, he's not like super animated. Jimmy Fallon tells a sweet story. He's like, when I was auditioning for SNL, everyone was telling me like, don't feel bad, but when you go out there, Lorne doesn't laugh. But don't feel bad. It's just like what he does. But then Jimmy's like, I actually did an Adam Sandler impression. I opened with that, and Sandler had just left the show, and Lorne actually laughed.
Oh.
And Lorne was, when Jimmy was telling the story, this was at the SNL 50th homecoming concert, which was incredible. We're going to get into it. But
Mhm.
Lorne was right behind him in the frame, sitting in the audience. And he just looks like this funny little man. Like, he's just like so tiny. And he like wasn't smiling. But then he kind of couldn't help but get a smile because Jimmy couldn't help it. Like, he turned around and was like, Lorne, thank you so much for all of this, for giving up. Like, you have given so much to so many people. And when I saw the episode about the writers, sorry, I'm going on such a tangent and I'm so
No,
sorry,
go.
but like, I
Yeah.
can't shut up about it. The writers on Monday find out who the guest is.
Right. Yes. 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 I've
And
seen
so-
this process. It's crazy.
So they find out Monday, and then they have a meeting with the guest Monday where they pitch ideas that they've just come up with. Like, they haven't thought about it because they didn't know who you were going to even be until that day. And so they're like, here's some ideas. None of them get picked because it's like, you're just trying to let the guests know, like, we got you.
Yeah.
Type of thing. And then on Tuesday, they have to write the sketches, come up with and write. So from concept to product is days.
Crazy.
That is insane.
Crazy.
And so now when I watch it and some sketches don't do well, I have so much more respect for it because I'm like, but you know what? How can you know?
Right.
You're not gonna know. And that's, I think, what I found to be so cool about Lorne Michaels. He's asking them to do insane things. If you get sketches on the show, you are in charge of costumes, set design, camera blocking, directing, all of it. And it's like this 25-year-old like Andy Samberg's, like, it was so terrifying because like, here I am, I have to go and tell like Sylvester Stallone a note on how to do. It's like, or John Mulaney's like, I was some kid who had no idea had any technical terms, and I'm telling these very professional, advanced people, camera operators and producers, like, can you do the thing where you make it go like, huh? Like that?
Yes.
Because like, I don't know the term. It's like, we had no business doing it. So sometimes if it does fall apart, I'm like, oh, I can see how they tried. It sounded funny there, and then they get it on the show, and it's like, oh, this didn't work at all.
Right. It's the reason why you literally will see so many people like go on SNL, last like a year, maybe 2 years, get off of there, and then like explode because they're funny off of that. It's like they just weren't like that. That just wasn't the environment for them. But that doesn't mean that they're not a star, because like think about like Sashir Zamata just did a whole Marvel project, but when she was on her, they didn't know what to do with her. Like honestly, they had no idea what to do with her.
I remember that. Damon Wayans, he was famously fired. And and it was funny when he got fired, one of the producers says that someone said something like, oh, it's career suicide. And she goes, nope. I said, mark my words, he's about to be more famous than all of us. And then they show like all the movies that Damon Wayans did. Like, and he's a great example of that. And a lot of they do get into in the one about the cast, that special, the like Tracy Morgan talks about that. He's like, I was feeling like I was not getting anything written for me, and people were just kind of pigeonholing me. And so I said to Lorne, I feel like I'm just like the black guy. And Lorne said, Tracy, I didn't hire you because you're black. I hired you because you're funny. So do you. And that's when Tracy let it go. And then I'm sorry, I will like one of the best, funniest sketches is Brian Fellows.
Yes. Yes.
It's so weird. It's like so, but like, where did you find this character? It's so bizarre. He's like, that dog's weird. It's like, what?
Yes.
It's such a weird sketch. Or when he does the Maya Angelou writing greeting cards, and it's like, I die in the grave and my sadness is over, and then opens it up. Happy 4th birthday, love, Maya.
Yes.
So like there's just been such amazing things that have come out of it. And Lorne has given these people this really cool platform to do so many things. And if it's not funny, he's like, oh, well, we'll find a way to make it funny eventually. Like and he always keeps bringing young people in so that he stays like current and he's not becoming this like kind of old curmudgeon. Cause that's what I'm wondering, what's going to happen when this guy's not around anymore? Who are you going to hand the reins over to?
It has to be somebody as flexible and as like willing to be like creatively like loose as he is. Yeah, because otherwise the show falls apart. They've never had to really experience it. Like he left for a little while and came back. Like he's been there the whole time, like making this shit work. So you gotta really,
And one of the best things that I heard them say about Lorne, everyone said it. After big events happened, like 9/11, the election, everyone knows that Lorne knows how to handle it. And he always does handle shit well.
Yeah.
Like he knows how to, I don't know what it is, but he's for such a kind of, you don't hear a lot from him, but he's such a compassionate, like empathetic person. And I think that's like when Tina Fey talks about him in her book, she's like, he just taught us all, like, give the people what they want if it's going to make them feel good. But it's about making people feel good, but also he takes so many risks. Like he takes risks, and he's like you said, if you're going to find someone to replace him, they have to be just as open to weird shit. Because it's some weird shit they do. Yeah. So I just admire that man so much.
I know. You literally like it's almost wild to think about that. From the time you'll get like these actors that come in, like, oh my God, well, we got Viola Davis coming this week to like host this and like host that. These people still have like are used to like scripted work where they can do these lines a million times on camera and you just pick the best one. If you have a joke that has to be said a certain way at a certain timing and all this stuff, it has to work, but like it just doesn't work like that all the time. So you literally, even with the best, like most professional actor, you're always taking a risk. And that's exactly like every sketch is a risk every single time. So
true.
Kudos to him, but also kudos to this cast for having the energy. Cause like, I feel like they'll be so like daunting to like you finally get a sketch on the show that you like wrote, that you're in and all this stuff. And like everyone else is blubbing it for you. And you got to go back the next week and be like, new week, let's go again. Like
exactly. Like the show is on Saturday, they have Sunday off, and then they're back on Monday and doing it all over again. And like come up with new ideas, come up with more, because like it's hard to come up with that many ideas.
Right. Oh, everyone in the comments is saying like Tina Fey is supposed to be, Tina
Fey is supposed to take over. I wonder.
I could actually see that working out because she seems to be that same kind of spirit. So I think she, especially someone that's been on the cast before and knows how hard this is to do, and she's been on both the acting side and the behind the news desk too. So maybe she would be like the best person to take over. I could see that.
I could see that. That's comforting too, because she also she comes from improv comedy too, so she gets stuff is going to be weird, and it would be like 30 Rock come to life.
Oh,
although she was head writer on SNL. She was head writer for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the homecoming concert, that was it was just nostalgia. And what I noticed about the homecoming concert, because all of this obviously was someone Lauren wanted to perform, right?
Yeah.
They pulled in Lauryn Hill. That bitch doesn't do shit. She doesn't perform anywhere.
Right.
Cher? Are you kidding? When Cher came out, I was like, Cher is here. What is happening?
Right.
It was it just really showed how important and iconic SNL is to the industry.
Yeah.
And there were so many performances that weren't for me. I'm not going to care about Devo, whatever. But I think that's what I loved about it. It's because I was like, this is for someone else. Someone else is loving this. And I can tell it is really special to them. And so everything about oh my God. And then Will Ferrell and Anna Gasteyer came out and did the Culps. Oh,
yes.
That was their best ever. They did
God.
Did every good song they could. That was just unreal. And then the amazing moment where because they always start off joking around. They're like, we can still see those middle fingers up. We're looking at you, Meryl. And Meryl Streep took that moment and just flipped off the camera, committed, because Meryl was always going to deliver.
Yes. I love it.
Meryl will always come. Meryl, by the way, who was sitting next to Martin Short.
Oh, her man.
Right? It's real?
Her man.
Okay. How fucking cute is that? How adorable is that?
Max took it out of my mouth. I was about to say the Backstreet Boys were there, and Nick sounded good. I was like,
Nick sounded real good.
Yes. I was
Nick sounded, who did not sound as good? Brian. Brian, when his little opening intro was like, oh, ouch. Ouch, buddy. Haven't hit that note in a minute, huh? Ow.
Couple clunkers, yeah.
Yeah, a couple clunkers. But it was it was after the B-52s, because the B-52s, so my uncle kind of raised me when I was really young, because he would take care of me, and it's my gay uncle, so that'll tell you all you need to know. So I was he was blow drying my hair up really high. But B-52s, Love Shack, we would always dance to that.
Oh,
so it was so cute having them perform, and they look so old, but I'm so into it, having so much fun. Aww. But then out came Bowen Yang and Sarah Sherman to do they were obviously having the most fun dancing. Then after that amazing performance, the fucking Backstreet Boys, and every single person in that audience got up and knew the words. That was the best part, is every single person knows the words. This was music that adults used to laugh at us for. But
I know.
Now, all of them are adults now, grown-ups now, and they just knew every fucking word.
We drilled it into their brain, man. We drilled it into their brain. I was a young child with I had the posters in my room were so across the board. There was Destiny's Child, there was Backstreet, there was Blink 182. I felt like my room was an homage to TRL. I had everybody up, and Mariah Carey, everybody was up in my room. And so this concert was made for the people. It was made for the people.
It really was. Hold on, wait. Emily said that Pete said that he went to Jamaica with Lauren for New Year's Eve his first year because he told Lauren he had nothing to do. That's so cute.
Oh,
that's cute. See, Lauren's a good guy. Andy Cohen was there. Max, I'm so glad you brought that up. Andy Cohen was there, and he found this one joke that Jimmy said to be so funny. He kind of wouldn't stop laughing even after it was done. Jimmy's like, there are thousands of people here and hundreds of people watching on Peacock. Andy, and then he kept going, but Andy kept laughing. Andy was he just was so tickled by that Peacock read. That was good.
Wait, that is hilarious. But I saw a statistic the other day that said I think they said Housewives brings in an additional 120 million for Peacock every year. I was like, whoa. Which I can definitely believe because Housewives still has such a huge fandom, but like we ain't watching live, so like we got to watch it somewhere. So I wonder how true that is.
Whoa.
But like I saw that like multiple places that like it brings in like a stupid amount of money for Peacock. Dear God.
And there's Andy cracking up.
Right.
Thinking it's so fucking funny. He was just so tickled by that.
I know.
The replay is available on Peacock now. So if you haven't seen it, it's a lot of fun. I personally like Jack White is one of those musicians where I'm not really big on like rock music live generally because I feel like I never can hear it and understand it or whatever. He's one of those that I will drop everything and pay attention. He's so talented.
Oh.
He really is. And like when he goes into guitar solos, he's awesome. He's a good person too. So that's always helpful. And I think he's like
good.
during when they were coming back from COVID, they had a music guest. What's that guy's name? The one who sucks, he was like, what's his name? Oh, it'll come to my head.
What is
It'll
he
come to
saying?
me. Like I could not tell you. But he was supposed to do SNL, and then he was posting on his social media out at a party, like kissing people. So they had to rush to replace him because they're like, he can't come on the show and like get us all sick. And so Jack White dropped everything. Lauren made a call to Jack White, and Jack White even got his band together, flew his band out and everything, and performed last minute. And Jack White talks about it in the music special and says that he had just done like a 3-day fast. And he was like, I got like this crazy amount of energy on the 3rd day because like your body, I guess, goes into like starvation.
That's how it
mode or
does.
something.
Yes.
And so he's like, I wanted to do that again. So as soon as I got the call from Lauren, I was like, all right, I'm going to fast again. And my manager, right before I was about to go out, he's like, you're going to pass out. And opposite happened. He's like, that exact energy that I wanted came like flooding through. And if you watch the special, his performance is so fucking cool. And he makes you want to go see live music. It was awesome. And so he closed the show. He closed the concert because like Lauren loves him.
Have you ever experienced that? Like that is the truest statement ever. Like those first couple of days on a fast, your body is going to feel horrific because not only are you like hungry and like your body's also that's the main like detoxing stage. So like it's getting rid of all of like the bad crap. But for some reason, that 3rd day, you wake up with so much energy. It is actually insane. You're like, why haven't I been doing this my whole life? My God, this is how like a normal person feels. It's actually like it's a bit overwhelming, but it's like, whoa, like now I see why I was doing this. If you can make it past those first 2 days, you're good. And they're saying Morgan Whalen in the comments.
Morgan Whalen, thank you. Morgan Whalen, thank you guys so much. But okay, I don't think I've ever been able to go that long. I don't think I've ever been able. Yeah, like I've heard, because I guess what happens is you physically go into like not starvation mode, but something like that, because your body wants you to go out and like find food.
Yeah.
Or something. So it like gives you all that energy. But I think the longest I've ever been able to get through a full fast, like no, just water, maybe a day and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's intense.
It's intense. Because like what happens to me in that second part of the half part of the day, I'm like, I'm gonna die. And so then I end up eating. And I'm like, and then I start like looking up why fasting's bad for you. Like then I start like finding reasons to stop. I'm like, yeah, it's really unhealthy. It's really not good for you.
Let me tell y'all something. If y'all are gonna do a fast, you need to like have a remote job, or you need to be like willing to take PTO for those first couple of days. You do not need to be like trying to go out in the world and like doing stuff. Like no, because you're gonna want to nap randomly. You're gonna feel terrible randomly. You're gonna get headaches. Like it's all bad.
Headaches.
So just like stay home.
The headaches.
I remember this was after grad school. I was living in Indianapolis. I don't know where I saw it, but like I feel like it used to be a big thing back in the day. We would see like that Beyonce used to do the master cleanse. Did you ever?
Oh, the master cleanse. Fuck yeah.
I did that first of all, I've never dropped so much weight so fast. So like it definitely works. But
well, yeah, because you're just drinking something. Like when
it like literally like but it's that like weird, you know what it is, like that weird creation of like that certain type of syrup,
lemon
juice,
hot lemon juice. Is there hot? No, there's no hot sauce.
There is cayenne pepper. That's what it is.
Cayenne pepper.
Yeah. And it's all like you cannot. That's one thing, like one taste that's always stuck in my mouth. Like I could never drink it again, or I would like automatically gag. So like it worked, but like my God, my God.
I did. Yes, I did the master cleanse too, and it was like a thing where we all were trying to do it at this restaurant I worked at. We were all trying to do the fucking master cleanse, and one of them, Danielle, she was way too into it, and we were like, "All right, Danielle,
go home, Danielle. Like get the fuck out of my face."
She bought like a whole big water bottle of it, and she wouldn't shut up about it. We are like, we don't want to do it with Danielle anymore.
No,
but no, the taste of it is it's got like a thickness, a viscous quality because of the syrup.
Yes.
And it's like there's just the flavor. But you have to drink.
I know. I'm literally gagging a little bit. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. So anyway, we love the SNL Homecoming concert. And tonight I will definitely be watching the anniversary special. Love you, Lorne Michaels. Okay, now we got to talk about the most important part.
Okay.
Miss Wendy Williams. Okay, first, before I say anything, I need you to answer this. Do you know how old Harvey is? TMZ Harvey. Do you know how old he is?
No.
I want you to no one tell him in the comments.
Oh,
I want you
to I'm gonna look.
How old do you think he is?
57?
He is 77 years old.
Holy I would have never keeping up shit still. Look, that's how I aspire to be.
I was confused because when he's talking to Wendy, now, first of all, the way they set this thing up, the
chaotic,
with the camera across the street and Wendy in the window. Okay, what are we doing here?
Chaotic. Oh my God.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Iconic, historic television was made because the visual of her in the window like that was insane.
Yes.
But just like who came up with that? They're like, we have to get her in the frame somehow. We'll go across the street. And then it starts off with her being like, they're looking at the wrong building. That's not my building. The camera guy's looking at the wrong building. I'm over here. And then she
love her
up in the window.
I love her so much. Oh my God.
Chaos. You know who also loves her? Harvey. He was so tickled by her. You could tell he loves her.
Yes.
Because he was cracking up at stuff she was saying. He was so supportive of her. And so that was really sweet. I had no idea Harvey had any sort of tender feelings for really anybody. He just seems kind of like all business.
Because you would think that like there'd be some like natural friction between them because of what they do. But I feel like I remember Wendy like using TMZ as like a main source a lot of the time. So I feel like there's probably was a lot of love there for like both like mutual bow down a little bit. And I love that.
Yeah, because it was really sweet how much he thought she was so funny. Like he fully cracks up a couple times. Yeah. So here's what her niece Alex thinks is the reason for this conservatorship getting so bad.
Okay.
That conservator is suing Lifetime and A&E for exploiting Wendy and taking advantage of clearly a woman with an alcohol issue. So they do address this, by the way. Like Wendy admits, I was drinking too much. She's sober now, but she was like, I'd been through a lot. So really, then I didn't, because I couldn't even get through that Wendy special. I couldn't even finish it because I was like,
Lifetime one.
Yeah, like I don't want to see her like this. Like this it did not feel right. It did feel exploitative. But so Wendy's thing is that conservator was never even around during the filming of the documentary.
Oh.
So for her to then try to sue and say that they were taking advantage of this woman who's clearly sick, they think that that's why now this conservator has made Wendy go into this facility where she's cut off from people.
Oh.
Because she's cut off. She can't see people. She had to beg to go. She did get to go see her dad, but she was crying in the TMZ interview. Like, I want to go see my father. He's old. We all need this. And this woman, she's like, Wendy can't go outside. She has to be escorted out because this is for people it's a memory care facility. It's for people with true like memory loss. And so they can't leave because if they leave, sometimes they may wander away and not know where they're going. And so it's there for the right reasons, but Wendy doesn't need it.
Right.
And so going off of that Lifetime awful docuseries they did, Wendy's like, I was a mess. I was absolutely not okay. It all started, the Wells Fargo of it all. It all started because her son was taking out a huge amount of money at a time. Her fucking son.
Can I say real quick before you continue? People like that one part right there made headlines. People, for anyone in the comments that watched the live, because I watched all 4 parts of the live. Me and my mom had a weekend of it. Yes, it was very hard. I thought this was like a main thing in the Lifetime. I remember that coming up when she went down there to see him, because I think they did let her go and see her son for like a week, like however long she was down there. And I remember this coming up because it was like, if I remember right, he was spending a lot of money specifically on Uber Eats. Like they were getting a ton of food delivered and like always like to where like people had like questions about it. I remember because I think he said at some point I spent like $150,000 on Uber Eats and like that kind, like how, I don't know, but boy, that seems like a good time. But anyway,
I was like, look, I love to order. I love a good ordering of a food situation, but that sounds excessive even for me.
Right. My God. But if anyone remembers, like, because I could have sworn this was a whole, I might be misremembering, but I thought there was a whole thing in the documentary. And so when like this started making headlines, I was like, we knew this, right? Or maybe we didn't. I don't know. Maybe we didn't.
It's Wells Fargo noted. This is what's confusing though.
Okay.
So Wells Fargo noted that this major amounts of money were being pulled out of her account, and they knew that she lived with her son, or they were like looking into that. So why would they then order a conservatorship on Wendy?
Right.
But I guess it was just over her money, so that therefore like someone else, and like it was, I think it was to be like an impartial person would then have control of it, so that she didn't have to worry about saying no to him or something. And then maybe that was why. But it's turned, and then Wendy was going through shit. Like Wendy's like, I wasn't okay. I was not okay. Her fucking husband, Kevin,
I know.
like she had gone through a lot. And Wendy had been open to, obviously, in the past with like not being sober and struggling with. I mean, the woman's like, I smoked crack. Like she said all this shit on her show. So she's open about it. So she knew she was struggling. But then the reason that's been amped up and we got that weird headline that she's fully incapacitated was her niece thinks that it's because of this lawsuit, that now she's got to like keep Wendy like quiet basically and make it appear that she's more frail and, you know, easily exploited than maybe she is. But Wendy has called everybody. Once Wendy got a chance to make phone calls, she's been calling Jason Lee. She's been calling Charlemagne. She's been calling the whole works.
Yes.
So remember I said the conservator ordered another like testing.
Psyche about,
And they have a couple experts on conservatorships who are like, yeah, this does not make sense at all. Also, the judge, this was funny. The judge noted, you know how Wendy always says, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She says it excessively. She does, but she kind of always has.
Yeah.
Wendy, though, herself admits, like, I'm weird right now. Like, I don't see anybody. I don't see the sunshine. I don't get to go outside once a month. Once a fucking month, twice a month. That will make you crazy. That will make you nuts. Yep. So she knows she's a little weird. So even in the TMZ interview, she says, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But the judge thought that was like proof of aphasia or whatever or something. And it was so funny because everyone that was being interviewed was like, that's just Wendy.
Right.
That's just how she
dumb.
is.
Get that judge off the bench. Like, shut up.
So something also that they were like, okay, there's alcohol-induced dementia, which can improve when the person stops abusing alcohol. And since she's sober now, Harvey was questioning the neurologist person that he had there. Like, is it possible that the symptoms of alcohol-induced dementia could be mistaken for this frontotemporal dementia? And she's like, yeah, it's totally possible. So now that they've ordered this new testing, most likely it will be like, okay, she's fine, but I know Kendrick has cried because we're worried that it's going to be another judge that is biased and
I want to pick the doctor. I would like to pick who's
Yeah.
doing. I don't trust nobody involved. Let me
I
pick the
know.
person. I'll pick the specialist. I'll
Well,
pick the
also
Uber
too,
driver.
this
Everybody.
is what the conservator said. She's like, I'm pretty sure the same results are going to come up, but we'll see.
See
So I'm
that
like,
little
"See-
heifer. See that?
what does that mean? What are
Mm-mm.
you going to do now? I don't.
Right.
That's when she said that, I was like, which I
See,
also don't like. Well, people are probably going to think the same thing. I'm like, no, this woman has been. First of all, she was standing the whole time. You know how we've
right.
only seen her like in
Laying
wheelchairs.
down. And
'Cause
yeah.
she's got the foot thing, poor thing.
Mhm.
But no, she was
Lymphedema.
she was talking the whole time, and she's like, Harvey, have I not been standing here the whole time dancing around? Have I not been? You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, she's much better now, but they've literally got her locked in this place. I can't even imagine. I
That
can't
is
even imagine.
especially when you know you have money to like live the
Yes.
freest life you possibly could,
Yes.
and somebody else having access to it and keeping you locked down like this. That's it. I want first of all, nobody needs to drag their feet. This mental evaluation needs to happen immediately because this clearly us, John Q, the public, we see things that y'all are trying to keep away from us. We all think that she's okay. We all think that this is being exaggerated. We all got opinions about this. So for y'all to like I need you to beat your feet. I need you to like hurry up, get this done. I want full transparency. I want to know who the doctor is because I don't want nobody that like you've used before. No, we want somebody brand new. Somebody, if you stationed in Brooklyn, I want somebody from Queens, or I want somebody from the Upper East Side, or you can go to Staten Island. I don't care. I want somebody not from around you. We need somebody completely different to handle this. Somebody, it can be court approved, whatever. But you, the conservator, I want you having no parts in picking who this person is. None.
Also, the facility she's in is $18,000 a month.
Okay, see, nope,
unacceptable. Unacceptable. We are not tolerating such things.
Nope.
The reason I found out that Harvey was 77 though is at one point Harvey, he's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch you some things that you would have talked about on your show.
Yes, I saw this one.
Right. The Trump answer was a little terrifying because she was like, let's get rid of him in 4 years or whatever. But she's not been paying attention to the news. She doesn't have enough access to things right now. But then she starts talking about how Diddy, prison for life, and how she's saying all men are cheaters. And Harvey's like, but wait, because then Wendy goes, I mean, I did cheat just to see what it was like. And Harvey goes, you and Martha Stewart. And then Wendy goes, yeah, but I cheated up. That's the difference. I cheated up. And he cracked up. He was laughing his face off at that joke.
Because that's classic Wendy. So like it's
classic Wendy.
Yeah, he sees it.
She was talking about like who she would want because she's like, I could use a conservator, I'm sure, like maybe for the money or whatever, because I still have things, but I just hope it's not somebody who's like 80 or 70. And Harvey goes, hey, I'm a little offended. And I was like, what does that mean? Why would you be offended?
Right.
Google, how old is Harvey TMZ? 77.
Woo.
Sharp as a tack, looking like he's mid-50s.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Who's older, him or Lauren?
Lauren just turned 80, I think.
Oh, okay.
Little
Lauren. 80 years old. You're right. Yep.
Right? And so Lauren looks 80, I guess. Like I wouldn't be shocked to hear that age.
No.
And he's only 3 years older than Harvey. Isn't that wild?
Look at that.
I could not believe that. I could not. It took me forever to really take it in. 77. The man looks great. Proud of him.
Wow.
Saving Wendy, we all have our eyes on it now. And I'm so happy for her that she's actually been able to like reach out. Everyone who's been in her life for a long time is like the old Wendy's back. She was gone for a while, but it's because she was going through something. She was
leaning on alcohol and she had a lot going on. And it's a tale as old as time. Everyone's like trying to treat it as if it's such a this unique, she was going through a lot. She had a ton of life changes thrown at her at one time. She used alcohol to cope like a lot of people did. She just she seriously abused it, but now she's clean. So
And hearing her say too, like, I was drinking too much. I'm like, ooh, that Lifetime doc is even grosser now. Because it's like,
yeah,
it was basically an intervention that they were filming, but it wasn't an intervention. It was just like really, really irresponsible.
yes. We had a comment from Brooklyn Rose. She said, "Hi, Emily and Kendrick. First time commenter here. Do you feel like the Lifetime docuseries helped to expose what's actually happening to Wendy?"
I don't. I don't think I agree. I thought that it what it did for me is make me go, oh, maybe she's not okay.
Me too. Me too.
So that part where I'm like, oh, I don't know,
Because
is this
Wendy
bad?
especially was really good about like saying, no, you got to treat people nice. You got to do like this. You never know who's going to spit in your food or who's going to do like this. She's always talking about like how you got to treat people that like help you really nicely. And she was not doing that in the docuseries. Like everybody was getting cursed out because like they wouldn't want to give her alcohol or buy her cigarettes and all this stuff. And so like it was a different Wendy than like we were used to. But oh boy.
And honestly, like if you think about, because I was a big watcher of intervention, and
okay,
that's totally just looking at an addict. Like that's the type of shit that they would document during those shows, right? When they have to show the person like in their disease, and it's usually them snapping at people, being super mean, awful, but those people still love them because they know that this is just them drinking, but they don't address it the way they should. It was like they just showed it like she was trying to act like business as usual, but it wasn't to come to an end result where they all sat her down and they were like, we want you to get help. We love you.
Yeah.
It was just exploitative. So it really was though. Like they didn't change directions. It looked like it was going to expose us to Wendy and let us know that she was okay, but then it did the opposite. And also that's why the conservator now suing Lifetime, Wendy's pissed because she's like, she wasn't even around while we were filming it. Like she didn't even know who I was, what I was going through. And now she's like, how could you take advantage of someone who's so sick? And she's like, you weren't even there.
Right.
And so now you've got to make it look like I'm more sick than I am because you're trying to sue them. But I think that they have, like, which is dumb. I feel like they've got proof that she approved it or something. I think they like have proof that she signed off on like the final project or something. So it's not going to pan out for her. I can tell you that right now.
Nope.
Anyways. All right. Well, on that note, we're saving Wendy.
Yes.
We're watching SNL, and White Lotus comes on tonight too. Now, I really recommend watching White Lotus in real time so that you can get in on the memes. The social media memes are so good and like sometimes even better than the actual show. The memes are what it's about. So like it's one of those shows you want to be a part of it online. It's fun.
Yes.
It's a fun show to watch.
And
I find that White Lotus is a little bit like if you're not participating in the online stuff, you don't get how fun it is. Because my sister has watched many seasons of White Lotus and been like, I don't really think it's that good. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. I had a friend who recently started because he knew it was like coming back. He's like, I never watched. I'll watch it this time. Season 1, he literally was going through it and he would like always send me updates. He's like, I'm just not into this. Like, I don't know. He finally started getting into it like at the end of season 1, but then season 2, he was like, oh, this is great. I love this.
Right?
I'm hoping.
Wait, here's a funny little factoid.
Oh.
I was at a party and it was a 50-50 split where some people like didn't like 2 and liked 1, and you know the smart ones over here liked 2 and not 1.
I'm really an idiot because I liked both. Ooh.
Yeah, well, I just thought it was so weird how people had that different of a reaction. Like, and I didn't connect to one. I think maybe like the being in Italy or whatever was like kind of more my jam. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But
really
anyways,
what's his name? What's the main guy's name from season 1? Murray Bartlett, is that it?
The hotel guy?
Yes, because he was the main reason I loved it, because his whole attitude about everything. I was like, you know what, this is hey Christina girl. Hey boo.
Christina, get out of here. She made it. Well, I was gonna wrap it up, but yeah, you're right. Married to Medicine is on as well. There's a lot happening.
Oh,
We got
Potomac reunion is
Potomac
tonight. So
reunion tonight.
yes.
We have the Married to Medicine. This is the big fight on the beach, I think, right?
I think so.
I
I'm
think
still
this is
behind
the
on them, but I'm
moment.
catching up. Yeah.
This is the moment for that. But then we
Mm,
also
wow.
like, how are we going to watch it all, guys? I'm going to be tuning into the SNL one because it's live and it'll be like happening with them. I want to like be a part of it with them.
This is why Peacock makes so much money, because we're all like, you know what, I got to watch this, but I'll watch Housewives in the morning, so it's okay.
See?
That's why Peacock is doing the things, people.
Well, and it will be on Peacock, so Peacock's just double winning.
Mm-hmm.
Double winning. All right, well, guys, we're gonna be done. Christina, I'm so happy to see your name in here. If you're not already following Kendrick, you got to follow Kendrick with Kendrick Tucker. Also, check out his podcast, I Cannot, available everywhere you listen to podcasts. And we will see you guys. Are you here? Are you in town next week?
I am. I love that you have to ask. Yes, I am.
That man is a traveler. So we shall be here same time next week. Loves you all. Thank you so much for having so much fun with us today. We love these Sundays.
Yes.
Mwah! Bye.
Bye.